Hello, fellow makers. So, as you see, we are going to do a stump rocket. Now, this is made from half-inch PVC. There are a couple of connectors. There is a 90 at this left end. There's a four-way in the middle so that we can put some lateral supports. And then at the end of the lateral supports, we have some caps. And those are the only connections you need. You're going to need some bottles, obviously, some pop bottles, and give it a try on how well things work with the half liter, the 20 ounce, 1.5 liters, the 2 liters. The kids experiment with that. I found this template on an Instructable, which the link no longer works for it, so it doesn't matter if I give it to you. But basically, they've taken an 8.5 by 11 and split it in thirds. And this top third, the white part are the fins and where you would fold for the fins. The black part is the part you basically cut off. So there's 3 fins. This middle part is the part that's going to get underneath when we wrap the paper. And then this bottom third here, where this says StompRockets, is the part that you color, design, add your images and logos and text to it. And then these lines here, these 2 lines, and this is the third line here, are basically where you put the fins. So here's how we do. They did suggest getting something a little bit long, another piece of half-inch PVC that's just a little bit longer than the 11 inches, and then making it a little bit thicker because you don't want the paper wrapped so tight that it has difficulty coming off the launcher. So I put a couple layers of masking tape. I have got one also that I've got duct tape on to make it a little bit thicker so the rocket fits easier around the launcher tube. And so here's where I've cut off the top third with where the fins were, and I did some coloring on the design part. I probably should have colored down where the fins were too. I just didn't. And then I wrap it around my guide tube and tape down the seam. And then slide it off. Now the fins, this is the part that's the fins. Again, the black part is the part that we throw away. The white part are the 3 fins. And there are fold lines. So as we can see, we kind of fold it in the middle and then kind of like paper airplane, and then fold the wings out on the sides, because those on the side, that's where you're going to tape it to the rocket. So here we go, taping it to the rocket. One thing that you might do, so we're taping down the sides here. One thing we might do is this opening here where the fold is coming together, you might want to tape that. So it's sealed, you might not. Give it a try. I mean, instead of paper, you could always tape on index cards. That would work, but this is, trying to use that one sheet of paper as a template. And then you put tape down all 3 fins. I didn't worry about taping close the bottom of this because that's not where the air is going to have any real impact. So puts 3 fins. You want to do more fins? You want to do them higher, lower? That's always the experiment, right? And once we get there, we need a nose cone. Now, a cone is actually just made from a sector of a circle, so part of a circle. Depending on how wide you want this to be is how much of the circle you need. Now, this is about half a circle, which is actually a little bit more than we need, but that's okay because we're going to get some wrapping underneath to get some more stability to the nose cone. A full circle would be like way too much wrapping, over under kind of thing. Quarter, I think, would be too little. So play with that in there. Around that half seems to work. Now the radius of your circle, this is the radius 1.75. The radius is the slant height of the nose cone, which is, because it's a small cone, it's close to the height of the cone also. But the height of this cone is probably like 1.5, where the radius is 1.75 on this sector. So we roll it, and then we're going to attach it to the top of the rocket with some tape. Now you could also just close off the end of your rocket with tape, with staples, to try and add some weight to it, even if you want to give that a try, because that's one of the experiments too. Is well, here's how the rocket flies like this. Well, now what if we add some weight? And how are the ways we could add some weight? Can we put some Play-Doh on there? Can we add paper clips to it? How can we add some weight? And where would the weight best be distributed for best flight? Always good to experiment with those things. And then you put it up on your launcher, and there you go.